Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome on board. Beautiful morning here in County Cavan. I'm telling you that because I want to sort of set the geography a little bit. Actually, hold on, I'm steaming up with me talking. I'm just going to open the visor a little bit. I hope that doesn't affect the sound too much. So yeah, I want to set the geography a little bit because most of you who've been following me now for about 2.5 years since I've been motovlogging on this channel, you're probably starting to identify the roads I take. This is what I call my test track. This is all within 10 minutes of where I live. And any new bike, or any bike, well, not really the bikes I do for review, in fairness, because I normally have to stick close to Dublin where I've gotten the bikes from. But any other bike of mine, or any time I want to test a piece of camera kit or a new helmet or anything like that, any time I just want to go out for like a 15-minute spin, I sort of take this route. Because, well, as you'll see, if you stick with me, it has a little bit of everything. It has the twists, it has the turns. Unfortunately, it also has a bit of traffic today, but that's quite rare. Normally, especially at a weekend, these roads are just empty. Now, as you can see, the roads are also quite slippy. We've had loads of rain, so I won't be showing you exactly what I can do around the curves as such, but I just want to sort of take you on a little trip and just show you the route as such. As well as that, I'm also, for those of you curious, I'm getting a lot of messages at the minute about the camera gear I'm using. I'm still using the DJI Action 3, absolutely brilliant. No reason to change that, no reason to start experimenting with other cameras at the moment, not until the new technology comes out in probably another 6 months or so. So yeah, I'm still using the DJI Action 3 and I'm using the DJI Wireless mic. I actually have the transmitter inside my snood, my neck warmer, which is up around my face and up around my mouth. And I've put the transmitter just in there with the magnet, which comes with the transmitter, on the other side of the snood, just to hold it in place. And it's just at the side of my mouth, so it'll be interesting to see what that sounds like. I hope it's not too muffled, that's the only thing. If you notice me sniffing and coughing from now and again, that's because I have COVID for the 3rd time. So obviously I won't be stopping anywhere today. I've left home. I'm coming out on this 15-minute ride all the way back to home. Won't be stopping. I've checked the petrol, so I don't even have to stop and fill up with petrol. Famous last words. I can't believe I'm coming out to show you this route and I've got 3 cars in front of me. Normally this entire road is empty. Some lovely properties on this route. Actually, just to finish off the camera talk, I'm recording in 4K and 50 frames per second. See if I can just pop past here. Lovely. I still can't multitask. I still can't talk whilst I'm accelerating past cars. But I get such a kick out of this bike still. Yeah, I'm recording in 4K 50 for none other than the fact that when I'm using other cameras and the drone, you know, when I use 4K 25 or 4K 50, it all speaks to each other on the timeline because it's the European PAL format. I'm not going to get into this again because on my review of this camera I went into that in depth. I'm going to shut the visor now because I can barely hear myself talking. And so yeah, I just won't go into that again. But if I know 4K 60 on this camera, again thanks to my friend Nick over in Moto UK, who convinced me to try 4K 60, and I did, and it definitely is marginally better than 4K 50 in terms of picture quality. Obviously you're getting 10 more frames, so it does have a bit more information. But the problem with that for me is that if I'm out droning or using other cameras like the 360, I have to set all of that into 4K 60 or 30. Again, 30 and 60 speak to each other on a timeline, 25 and 50 do, but they don't subsequently sort of match up. 25 and 50 will not go on a timeline with a 30 or a 60 because there'll be a little bit of a stutter when you spit out that video. I don't know if you've noticed that, if anybody has done that before, but there's definitely a stutter. God, I'm steaming up like mad here, so sorry I've had to open the visor again. So yeah, I'll get round to the point in a minute. So the reason I do that is because as part of my business I sell drone footage in a stock footage company, and if I'm out in somewhere sort of spectacular, that drone footage for television in Europe, even the UK, has to be recorded in 25 or 50. So basically that's the way, that's the reason I keep everything speaking to each other in 25 or 50 frames per second, because I can use the footage everywhere else as well. I can also bring in other footage which I might want to drop in from places I've been to, and it'll sit on the timeline perfectly. So if I was to change to the American NTSC format, 30 or 60, then I would just get that stutter once every second. Anyway, that's it. So you can see back on track now, literally. You see the windmills in the distance there. There's windmills all over the place here. The reason for that is, yep, you guessed it, we're very, very high up. In fact, I think it's the second highest town or county in Ireland. There's a mountain which you might be familiar with as well. I ride up quite a bit. In fact, one of my recent videos on the CRF 300, I went off-roading on that mountain. I think that's one of the highest points in Ireland. I don't know its exact measurements, but I've just been told that. But yeah, the other thing about the windmills here as well is that when I used to be flying around in the paramotor, I've put that to bed now quite a bit. I sort of lost interest in that. But when I used to be flying around in that, I'd always use the windmills as waypoints, and I'd literally fly from stack to stack of windmills. It was always a great feeling when I was coming home on the paramotor, especially if the light was going or if the batteries were about to die in my GPS. It was great to see the clusters of windmills, so to speak, and then the lakes which surround the windmills as well. I always used that as navigation to get myself home, and by God, I was glad of it a good few times. So we're approaching the town of Kingscourt, not far from Kingscourt. These roads are just absolute bliss. As you can see, I'm not going too quick today, but when you do want to carve it up, these roads just offer a bit of everything, you know. This is the only thing you've got to be careful of, tractors, because you could be coming around a bend and a big piece of agricultural machinery be coming towards you on the other side of the road. Combine harvesters and the likes of. The light at this time of year is only beautiful, isn't it? Now I'm going to tell you another very interesting fact, not about the light or cameras or anything, but something which will make you sit up. Well, if you're of a certain generation, shall we say, because some others watching these videos might not have even heard of him. But did you ever hear of Johnny Cash? The guy with the really deep singing voice. Well, back in 1963, himself and June Carter, who was his girlfriend at the time, because I think, well, yeah, they were both married to different people. They came over to Ireland and performed 12 concerts in a 10-day tour, basically so they could establish their love affair without the prying eyes of the media in Ireland. So they came over to Ireland. They had a great old time, apart from the fact Johnny Cash spent most of his time, well, off his head on medication and drink. So he was addicted to painkillers. Now, this is the story I'm going to tell you. See this dilapidated old building there behind the trucks with the sun above it? That was an old dance hall. And Johnny Cash and June Carter played there. How mad is that? Back in 1963. A long old time ago. So we're coming into the town of Kingscourt now. This is a brilliant old town. Great pubs. Now, I'm going to be turning left here. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not. I'm going to sort of end the video in the town here of Kingscourt. I'm going to turn right instead, because it's another sort of 10-15 minutes, whatever it is, back left. And I know I only wanted to make this video at this handy little petrol station, actually. I only wanted to make this video just to show you that track. So that is the track I use. Now you see this pub here, the one with the thatched roof, called Gartland's. It's a very famous pub. I'll pull in, actually. Very famous pub around this area, and great for the old tourists as well. In fact, I've done much filming in there over the years where we've needed a sort of real authentic looking Irish backdrop. I made a film here in Ireland. Took us 5 years to make the film, called The Man Who Wanted to Fly. Look it up. It's on Apple TV, and it's also on Amazon and a few other sort of online platforms as well. I don't think it's on Netflix. It's out of our hands now. We paid a distributor to send it around the world, so it's everywhere. Anyway, yeah, The Man Who Wanted to Fly, and we filmed a couple of lovely, great music scenes with the actual man who wanted to fly in that pub. And what's really nice is that I'm still told by the people who run the pub that people still go in asking about Bobby, who is the actual man who wanted to fly, and is he still flying, and is he still going, and everything. And that feedback always comes back to me. And these are people from far afield as America, who come over and travel Ireland, and who've seen the film in America and want to go to that pub. So it really touches me, that, you know. And again, 10, 12 minutes from where I live, well, which is obviously one of the reasons we chose to shoot a bit of the film in there for logistics. Anyway, that's pretty much it for today, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in. That was my test track. Every time I say I'm going out to the test track, my wife sort of shivers, thinking that I'm meaning a race track, you know. God, the sun is very low. Thank God I've got a peak on this cap. Otherwise I'd struggle with the sun. Just the time of year and everything. Actually, I'll finish on a negative about this bloody helmet. This is the Scorpion ADX2 I'm wearing. When I took it out to give it its first review, I was over the moon. Fits perfectly, beautiful vision, quite light, very quiet, everything going for it. Really thrilled. Doesn't have all of the certification that I would like with other helmets, but when I was away doing my Connemara series, I took this helmet, and oh by God, there was its downfall. When I was on the motorway doing motorway speeds, the peak, for whatever reason, is so soft it vibrates. Anything over 80 kilometers an hour, it vibrates like mad, and it causes a horrible ringing inside the helmet. I mean, it's unwearable. Of above 80 kilometers an hour, if you're on a motorway, you'll have to take the peak off, which is obviously you can't do very quickly when you're on the move. So sorry to end this little video with that negative, but again, I know a few of you have been asking me in private, what do you call it, DMing me, direct mail, is it, to see how I'm getting on with the helmet, and the answer is not great. I still wear the helmet for little spins out like this, but that is about it, folks. Well, I was just going to slip over, go and overtake him there. Thank God I didn't. Alright, on that note, thank you very much for tuning in. This is Dave for Wheelie Good TV. Have a great day, great weekend, ride safe, play safe, and, well, stay safe. Alright, we'll chat soon, folks. Bye.